Kel-Tec is a proud sponsor of the Talking Lead podcast and the Leadhead Brigade.
He goes off during the interview a couple times. Chris, come back to us.
Nodding off.
Marty, just see that I'm hungover. I'm hungover.
You have a big night?
Chris
No.
is chasing the dragon.
just had a lot of fun. It wasn't. I don't know. Just getting older.
Sandy was getting older, yeah.
I had a great time.
I can't hang like I used to.
Yeah, me neither. We were talking about that at lunch. My words are gonna fail at some point to this interview. I'm gonna tell you right
we got
now.
3 people that are gonna listen
Yeah.
to us.
You didn't have a drink. You should have had a beer. It's like that better after I had that beer.
Yeah.
You got drinking whiskey?
A water. Oh, well, last night. I got drunk on water. Really fucked me up.
You are getting old.
Right.
It wasn't distilled.
Damn alkaline.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was bourbon. A lot of bourbon. Bourbon.
Ken just went by, too. Ken Ross? You know Ken?
Oh, yeah.
So, all right. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back at the 2023 National Rifle Association annual meeting, or NRAM, as it's affectionately called, 2023. Bringing it to you from the lead quarters.
Oh,
Ladies
that's a
and
good
gentlemen.
one.
Yeah.
The lead
Quarters. I
quarters.
like that.
The lead quarters.
Wow.
And did you show them the new logo?
I haven't yet. Did you not? What'd you do with your shirt?
I put it in my room.
I thought
Okay.
the camera guy wasn't even here.
Okay.
Are we on video?
No.
No, he's right here.
But we could describe the logo.
He's right here.
Oh, okay. I don't know. It was weird. Like, what
So
Use
it's
your
not
words to
officially
describe
released
the logo.
yet. We are teasing it here.
Did I screw that up?
Yeah, you just released some
screwed it up,
confidential
You
information.
screwed it.
We'll edit
No,
that.
I've put it out in places.
Okay.
I'm slowly like getting people used to it. I'm not gonna hit them all at once with it. I'm like just creeping it in here and there just to see if they even notice that I've got a new logo. No, I'm being sneaky with it.
Yeah.
So everybody, this is Evan.
Hi, Evan.
Evan.
What's up,
I'm Chris.
Chris,
Kevin.
Yes, you do.
Mike Sodini. So if you could video this, absolutely, that'd be great, and maybe do like for our live, do a video for that to post up. That'd be a good one too. Now, are we all here with Walk the Talk America, or are we here with different representing your own individual things? So this is going to be a group.
Yeah.
This is a group session.
This is a group.
Here's
I
a group
love
session.
group
They
sessions.
all represent Walk the Talk America.
Exactly right. We all are Walk the Talk
Yes.
America.
Yes,
Everybody
represent.
actually here has been
I am
instrumental
Spartacus.
in Walk
That's
the Talk
true.
America. So
That is true.
I'm going to treat this as just one extended therapy session. So.
This is going to get you ramped up for tonight to put on round 2.
Yeah, I need to talk about what happened last night, how I'm feeling now, and
Wait till tonight.
when
It's
you
coming.
do it all over again.
It's
all
coming.
over again,
So
indeed.
Mike joined us at SHOT Show this year, and you had your buddy Jake, and you had Devin came by,
Yeah, and Jay Hood.
and Jay Hood.
Yeah.
Is Jay Hood here?
No, I'm flying solo this time.
Okay, so
Yeah.
just you representing
Just me.
WTTA.
Everybody else had obligations,
Well, that's understandable.
which is great. I mean, like, if you think about it, everybody does what they do for WTTA for free. You know what I mean?
That's
so it's
true.
Like, I don't have employees. Like, you know.
You just take them when you can get them.
Yeah, take them when I get them.
There you go.
Apparently, Indianapolis.
Well, you've rounded up two good ones to be seen with and talk the talk.
My
that Walk the Talk
heroes.
does. Kevin Dixie,
stop
ladies and
it.
gentlemen,
Oh,
joining us. The new slimmer, more svelte Kevin Dixie. Get up on that mic so we can hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, come on.
Look, I'm trying.
This is his first time.
Yeah,
This
I've
is
never.
not his
I don't do
first
these.
time.
What are these Mike's interview things? What is this? No, let me.
We even got you the red one too, so you could.
Yeah,
miss
that's
it.
right. That's my colors, man.
There you go.
I'm enjoying the weight loss, trying to have a good time. Wanted to live longer, man.
Yeah.
Start looking at some videos, and I'm like, nah. It's like, nah, this ain't gonna work. And I like to be active and fun, and can't necessarily teach people how to stay alive and inspire them if you're like you're about to kill over and die. So
That's kind of part of being a responsible gun owner, right?
Yep.
Getting in shape, being able to defend yourself, defend others, not just with the firearm, but physically as well.
yeah, that's absolutely true. So I encourage everybody. Look, I'm no workout Nazi or anything like that. I'm not
Gym
the guy
Nazi.
that if I see you eating the burger, I might like give me a piece. It's cool, but at the
mine.
same time, we got to be somewhat responsible. I've been dealing with this Oprah thing for all my life. Like my weight always does this, right? So for me, it's about just understanding who you are, where you are, and do you want to be an asset or a liability? And even if you don't think about it on a broad scale, take guns out the equation, man. Take all the guns out the equation. Think about your family having to take care of you. Thinking about the fact they can't go to work because they have to come home. They can't live their life. Your kids can't live their life. Your kids turn 26. They want to go live and enjoy life, but because you're diabetic, because you didn't take care of yourself, now they got to stay close to mom or dad to take care of you. So think about the quality of life of those around you if you can avoid issues. Right now, things happen in life all the time, but if you can avoid them, I will much rather my kids and my wife and my family live and prosper instead of saying, hey, I can only do 60% of what I want to do in life because Dad decided to have 3 damn double cheeseburgers for 8 months in a row. Now all of a sudden,
triple bypass.
Yeah, his legs are getting cut off and stuff like that. So just take the guns out the equation. Think about your family's quality of life.
I have a very simple mantra.
Chris Cheng, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello. So I have a very simple mantra that I'm trying to live my life by these days, which is make good choices.
Okay.
That's it. Real simple.
I mean, it sounds simple enough.
Yeah.
It sounds simple.
I did not follow my mantra last night.
Every day it starts over.
Sometimes you slip.
Yeah, you slip. And
it happens.
You're like, oh, yeah, I just got to get back in the saddle and try and make good choices. I think, whether it's, diet, exercise, just we have to make good choices.
Well, you started by coming by the lead quarters and talking to the lead heads, man.
Yeah, so that has been a great choice for me today.
That has been like your best choice so far, and it's just going to propel from there until tonight. And then that's where we're going to slip again.
And then you wake up like Groundhog Day, and you're like, oh, I feel terrible.
He's going to have bourbon.
I'm going to make better choices.
Damn it, Kevin. You did it to me again.
It's going to happen. It's going to be bad.
Bourbon and cigars. Oh,
yeah,
my.
Did you go to the cigar bar? There's a cigar bar nearby.
Nick Bailey's.
That's it.
This is a problem that I know these things.
Yeah,
yes.
I was going to say, right off.
That's it.
It's Nick Bailey's. It's downstairs. It kind of puts you.
It's kind of like a speakeasy kind of deal.
Ooh, one of my buddies yesterday said it reminded him of the Continental off of John Wick. Kind of like the sitting area. Like it's really cool though. It's
supposed to be like couches and everything. I'm going to check it out.
Yeah, it's really nice.
It sounds like it'd be pretty cool. It's kind of your kind of place, man.
Is it?
You would dig it.
Okay.
Yeah. And you would fit in perfect there.
Really?
The Gambino. Yeah.
Oh, good. It's
Sodini. So you got some new stuff since we talked last going on with Walk the Talk America that we want to inform our listeners about.
Yeah, something that's really cool is that, for those that know, we have a cultural competence course on our website that we've been giving to clinicians across the United States. But up until recently, we couldn't guarantee that if you were a clinician, say in Ohio or Michigan or Indiana, that you could get the CEU credits. Like the only guarantee was if you were a clinician in Nevada. We knew that. So it's not that you couldn't take the course and go to the board and say, hey, I took this, I'd like it to be recognized. So that was always kind of like a barrier to entry to get some people to take it. But we recently partnered with CASAT out of Nevada, and they're licensed in all 50 states. So now people have the option to either take the free course online or take that same course, pay, right, but guarantee that you're going to get the CEU credits. Doesn't matter where you are. It could be in Maryland, right? So we're excited about that.
So now they're getting rewarded for the education.
Right, and it's a guarantee. And here's the thing I love about it the most. When I was talking to CASAT, because they're not gun people, right? And I was like, we want to sponsor, pay half of the fee for any clinician to take this. Yeah. And I was like, do you have a problem with us, having sponsors that are gun companies? Because a lot of times when you try to bring in a gun company to it, they're like, no, we can't do that. They're just like, yeah, we don't have a problem with it. So if you go to CASAT's website, there's a big Ruger, logo.
Nice.
Yeah, and that's what I love is when you can normalize. People are like, hey, it's firearms. This is normal.
Well, it's dispelling the myth that they put out there that we're the cause of all this, and
we don't care.
But look, we got mental health professionals that understand that that's not the problem. That's not the root cause, and the gun companies are actually involved with this themselves and trying to, help
get people through and
get people help.
Pay for the education to be educated. when you take that course, I mean, obviously, like there are parts of that course where you guys could teach it, right? Like because we're in it, we know it, right? But there's a lot that people learn taking this course, because when you talk about the mental health community, most mental health clinicians are not gun people. It's not that they're afraid to learn, but
it's just not their bag.
Right. They need the environment to learn from it. But there's a lot on there. And like I said, I'm super excited that someone can go there and just be like, oh, cool, Ruger is paying for me to get this education.
Yeah.
They care. Like so.
Absolutely. That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Congratulations with that.
Yeah, I think it's going to be the next big thing.
So if they want to do the credits, tell them again where they can go and sign up for that.
Well, you can go to our website, go to WTTA.org, and you have the options to either take the course. Anyone could take it and get a certificate, right? But if you are a clinician, and let's say, you're
going to get your CE credits.
Yeah, you want those credits and you don't want to go into the board, you could just pay for it through CASAT, which is a link on the website, and then you're good to go. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Congratulations on getting that done, man.
It's
just opening the doors for more people to get involved.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's just, like I said, anytime you could take companies from, that are inside the firearms industry and expose them in a positive light to maybe people that just don't know, or maybe even sort of anti-gun, right? Like, it's like, oh, wow, like that's really cool. Ruger is literally paying for people to get educated on demystifying the gun culture.
Yeah. And vice versa.
Yeah. Works both ways. Definitely.
The gun culture. So, Walk the Talk America, bridging the gap between the mental health industry and the firearms industry.
Yes.
That was your original mission, and you're continuing it and expanding upon it.
And when you start like a 501c3 and you're this is an evolution, right? Because everybody at this table was pretty much with me from day one, right? You always wonder, like, what is next? What's the next thing?
I remember that call I got from you. He was like, "Hey, I got this idea. Don't think I'm crazy about doing this, but just hear me out."
Yeah. So
I was like, "Dude, that's freaking phenomenal." Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a crazy 5 years, and I love that Chris and I were just in DC. I think we can talk about this stuff, right? Like we were in DC with the VA, working on, and I think Chris, you could expand on this, but dude, where we're at now compared to where we were 5, 6, 7 years ago, like gun industry professionals and people are being brought to the table for once.
They're being sought out.
Yes, they're being asked
to take part in the discussions.
Yes, and on a level that right, Chris?
Yeah,
say something, Chris.
Yeah. I'm gonna use my words.
He's wanting you to interrupt him.
Yeah, no, it was a wonderful experience, right, to see the Veterans Affairs Administration, invite the NSSF, which is the Firearms Industry Trade Group, and then, gun people like Mike and like me to be a part of a discussion, an ongoing discussion. These meetings have been ongoing for 8 some years now, right? Where it's government, it's private industry, and it's also members of the mental health community, of the gun community, all coming together with the goal of saving lives, right? And particularly this working group that we were in last week was around suicide prevention. And there's obviously a pretty strong correlation between suicide prevention and mental health services, and making sure that if somebody wants and needs mental health services, that they understand, well, one, what resources are available to them, what does the process look like, is there equal access, right, to those therapy resources, and then in the context of the Second Amendment, right? So a big concern that Mike and I and others continually flag with the VA and other mental health providers is, talking to a gun owner, right, about mental health issues, and also, their guns, like, it is a sensitive issue. And practitioners need to be very thoughtful about how they talk about firearms to a patient. Right, and make sure that there are some very well-founded fears, right, from some gun owners who do not seek mental health services because they know that some of these mental health providers have the power to take their guns away, right, because they're seeking out mental health services. So it's, like Mike mentioned, the cultural competency piece is really important, right? For us to be able to explain to mental health providers, like these are the considerations that you need to think about when you're talking to a patient who's also a gun owner. And ultimately, we're on the same page in terms of trying to keep people safe and getting them the help and resources to do so.
The Kel-Tec KSG 410 is the perfect sidekick with no kick. At just over 1.5 inches wide, just over 26 inches long, and just over 5 pounds, you'll be hard-pressed to find a more impressive 410 bore shotgun. In fact, it's the world's first and only pump-action 410 bore bullpup shotgun. The side-by-side dual feeding tubes and one in the chamber delivers an impressive 11-round total capacity, making it as functional as it is fun. Innovation, performance, Kel-Tec.
Very good. And you guys just went to DC. You got any other events like that coming up?
No, nothing. No, I mean, I
So
think
anybody listening that knows one,
yeah, it's always ongoing. Kevin's got an event coming up though. I'm gonna try to make it.
Oh, you gonna try?
I'm gonna try.
I'm gonna try.
No, if I
That
don't,
means
if I don't have to move.
I mean, sorry, buddy, I ain't gonna make it.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I forgot about that part.
Where are you
Yeah.
moving?
I just gotta find a new house. The owner of my house that I rent wants to sell it. There's nothing.
Oh, okay. So you're
But it falls like
You're
right
staying
on
in Las Vegas.
The last day falls right on Kevin's event.
Yeah.
Which and he's invited me to speak at this event every year, and it's always a great opportunity. You know,
But you always find some excuse to weasel out. Is that
Well,
what I'm hearing?
at least he responds. Chris has never even acknowledged the damn thing. So.
I mean, I
Yeah.
deleted his number from my phone, so I just like blocked him. I don't even get these messages.
It's crazy. See, I'm
It's
treated.
crazy.
That nobody's asked me a question since I've been here till it came time to insult me. Right? I see how it is.
Correct.
This is a
Correct.
roast.
Yes.
You didn't know
Yes.
that.
God,
This
that
is some
sucks.
bullshit. That's what I'm talking about.
Absolutely.
So, Kevin, what's new with you, brother?
Nothing much. What I will say before I get into the things that are new, there are a couple of things that are new. To anybody listening, this is something that's very important. One of the first things when I sent shockwaves through this particular industry is when I stood up on television and said, the first time I picked up a gun, I tried to kill myself. Right? And
That'll do it.
just like he got quiet just now,
Yeah.
the room was like,
It's like, what?
okay, right? Because we're afraid to have those conversations out loud. Now, granted, I was a 13-year-old kid, right? Obviously, I failed at it. I wasn't too good at figuring out how to load things and drop safeties and things like that. But the point is, even at 13, the gun to me looked like an immediate fix to take away all the pain, right? And when you transfer that to an adult who, two sides. One, an adult that hasn't been brave enough to go and say, I think something's wrong, right?
To admit they've got a problem.
To admit they got a problem. They could be connected to their freedom. They could understand and believe in the Constitution, but be disconnected from their own soul, right? And not understand that up here, I don't care about the six-pack and all that. If this thing is broke, you're going to be in a bad situation.
Yeah.
And then there are the individuals that have, they have the courage to say something is wrong, but then they feel like society is going to shame them because they're going to say it. They're going to judge them. So what I encourage everybody to do is wake up in the morning and give the world the big middle finger, and you make sure you're doing whatever you need to do to take care of yourself. So Walk the Talk America, one thing I was a big fan of when we talked about it, I remember being a gun owner. Even when I was back at the PD, I still was struggling with things. I had no one to talk to. I could lose my damn job. Right? I was around inmates all the time. They're not going to trust me around them, and then I could also lose my gun.
Yeah.
Right? So I am struggling and suffering in silence for a decade with nobody to talk to until mental health sort of started becoming a thing. And my only treatment was to say, I'm going to talk about it out loud. After I went through clinicians when I was a teenager, my only treatment as an adult was just to talk about it out loud. And then I kind of used the boldness of, what are you going to say to me? Because I said it out loud. But venting was my therapy. So now that, fast forward, now that we have organizations like WTTA, and I think Americans are more comfortable, we're starting to talk about mental health in general. I think we're getting way more comfortable with that.
Yeah.
I think people should take the opportunity.
Well, it's becoming less of a stigma for people to come out and talk about it now. It's becoming more acceptable because people understand that you can't pent it up. You can't leave it in. You got to get it out. You got to talk to somebody, and you got to be able to do it with knowing that there's not going to be any repercussions,
Consequences, yeah.
consequences. You're not going to lose your firearms. You're not going to have to go, do whatever, for your job. It's becoming more acceptable, and that's good, and it needs to be, because there's more people talking about it, and it's because, I think organizations like Walk the Talk America that are getting out there and reaching these people that aren't educated, in the firearms industry. They don't really understand it. They don't understand our culture, and we don't understand theirs, obviously, either. But we're all part of that. Everybody's experienced some sort of mental illness at some point in their life.
One of the
big degrees are different. But
one of the big changes that I think has been really notable over the past year is the launch of the new 988 service, right? So this is, instead of 911 for law enforcement and medical emergencies, 988 is a new number that, right, if you need mental health services, you can call 988. It's available 24/7.
Nationwide hotline.
Nationwide hotline, exactly. And so, to see the government actually do something positive for once is,
how long have they had this 988? Do you know?
It's pretty new. It's only been maybe a year.
Okay.
Maybe a year.
So we
right?
probably don't have any stats on how it's going.
Not that I've seen. I mean, at some point I'm sure we'll see some statistics. Right now, like anything new, this is about an awareness
figuring
campaign.
it out too, and
that too. But just getting people aware that 988 is a free mental health resource, right? If you want someone to talk to, WTTA.org, right? Another great channel. If you don't want to talk to someone per se initially, you can take a free anonymous mental health screening on the WTTA.org website. And ultimately,
I've had several friends. I've had listeners contact me, saying that they're struggling, they're having issues. Who can I talk to? Who can I get in touch with? Of course, I always put out the Walk the Talk America as like they've got a great screening program there. You guys go there. There's for veterans. There's not really anything for veterans out there other than if they've got like a support group to go and do talk to and talk about their problems. So the 988, I assume you can remain anonymous with the 988. Anonymity is like the biggest concern for most of the people in their reservation, in calling or maybe going online because they feel like they can be tracked and, it could ultimately be used against them somehow, some way.
Yeah, I get that question a lot with the screenings still.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny because, the very first thing I did when I took a screening is I answered it two ways. I answered one like in crisis just to see like what would happen, and then I answered it like correctly, normal. And it's so funny because like at this point it's like 5 years. If someone took a screening through Walk the Talk America and it backfired on them and something happened to their rights, there would be no Walk the Talk America anymore. It would be a wrap.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. This is like sometimes I'm in meetings and I'm like, look, we're year number 5. Like,
your anonymity is safe in doing this screening.
And that's worked against us in many ways, like to go get grants because people want to know what the data is, right? And I'm like, it's free and anonymous. Like you can't go to gun people and start collecting data, like, you know what I mean? So to me, it's like take that leap of faith, like relax. Data, don't let data get in the way of saving a life. That's all I'm going to say.
Then that shuts them down, doesn't it?
Yeah.
They're like, good point. Throw your trump card down there, Mike.
Exactly.
So Walk the Talk America, give the website.
WTTA.org.
Yeah. And social medias?
At Walk the Talk US on all social media.
Okay. Yeah. And I had talked to Jake, I guess, because he's one of the guys I contacted. You were doing something, I don't know. But anyway, he got back with me, and you guys don't have a number that people can call right now. You've got the online screening, but it's something that you're looking into.
Well, we're looking, like, that's the next big project, too, is we're starting to build a network of mental health professionals that are 2A culturally competent and are willing to put that out there. Guys like Jake, they're like, hey, I'm a gun owner, like we're gun owners here, like we accept you. And I think that's the biggest thing. I don't want to hide in the shadows anymore. Like I don't want there to be like a secret list of clinicians. I want clinicians to come out and say like, we are who we are.
Right.
Right. Because I'm real big on normalizing firearms because they are normal and they're healthy. Right. And I think the more we move towards that, the better it's going to be. Just think about the power of, a couple clinicians in all 50 states, right? Like then we have a voice too, right? Like I think that's where we need to go. So that's one thing we're working on. We have right now I think we have like 8 or 9 clinicians that signed up on it. But
if I've got a clinician that's listening right now and they want to
be part of this,
be part of it, what do they do?
Well, they come to our website. We want you to take our cultural competence course. Like I said, it is free.
Sure.
Or you could go the other way if you want the CEU credits, right? But we want you to go through the courses. It's about 6 hours, 3 hours for the course 1 and 2, and then just contact us after you get your certificate and just say, I want to be listed. And we get some people that don't want to be listed, which is fine. And then we get others that are like, put me on there.
Sign me up.
Yeah, and that's what we want.
Nice.
You don't have to be listed, but we really want you to. Because
what states are you in right now?
I'd have to take a look exactly.
Put you on the spot?
Yeah, you put me on the spot, but
I'm good at that.
You are good at that. Such a mean guy.
Yeah, we're in Nevada, we're in Alaska, we're in West Virginia.
Can't believe you didn't bring me any mule deer chili.
So Mike, about that chili story earlier. I know. I mean, maybe I've got some in a little tote outside the door.
I'll hand feed it to you.
I'll hand feed it to you. It'll be a wonderful experience.
I would like to. We'll do a live on that
Little
one.
airplane, coming to the airplane hangar.
Boop, 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 open up.
Oh, that's so precious.
That's sweet.
Right?
Oh. And he would do that for me.
Yeah, I would.
He would do that for me. So great stuff that you guys are doing. I really like what you're doing, and it's much needed.
I want to thank you because
What did I do?
you've given me this platform since day one.
You're always welcome here. You know that. You
Yeah.
know that. Leadheads love you. They loved you prior to it, and they're behind you 100% with Walk the Talk America.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I told you, anything that we could do, let us know.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that, brother.
Absolutely. We're always here. So, Chris, Kevin.
Uh-huh.
So outside of Walk Talk America, what all's been going on with you guys? Chris is deferring to Kevin.
You've been like chomping at the bit.
I talked to some people you know at SHA Show came by.
You talked to everybody I knew at SHA.
I did. I talked to a lot of people.
Yeah, they kept telling me, like, hey, you need to go over there. I was like, I'm going to get there. I'm going to get there. What's new? So I'm no longer, okay, let me back up.
All right.
So I'm a Georgia resident now, a Georgianian. I don't know what it's called, but I live
Georgian.
in Georgia. A Georgian. There you go. So I'm a Georgian now. Moved there a couple of years ago. I am excited about a couple of things. One is now, although this is in St. Louis, Missouri, Train and Learn. So what Train and Learn is coming up Memorial Day weekend. It's every Memorial Day weekend. Train and Learn was my answer for professional development for the freedom community, as I call it. Not just instructors. It could be freedom community. Right. I don't care what you do. But if you have a business aspect to what you do, even running social media, then it's for you. So we bring in individuals to speak about their different expertise, kind of give workshops about what they're good at, right? So it could be like this year we're going to cover search engine optimization and how to leverage that with social media and your website, right?
Nice.
Talk about developing unique markets, right? Because some of us service very unique niche markets. How do you foster those markets? The psychology behind marketing. So different things that we cover, and we switch it up every year, right? To kind of get
Little variety.
a little variety out there. So that's a 3-day professional development event that gives you a total of 9 workshops. 4 are range related, 5 are not, and 2 on the range involve a handgun and a rifle, and then 2 are soft skills. Well, I call one of them soft. This year we're going to be covering tasers, and we're going to be covering medical. But
Okay.
I'm waiting on somebody to get tased for the medical people to come help them. So that'll be fun. But so we're giving the industry not only the business acumen they need, we're also giving them some training aspects that they need.
What type of medical are you implementing?
Well, this is going to be conducted by the USCCA.
Okay.
And I forget the name of the curriculum, but it's going to be more the entry-level curriculum for individuals. And I will tell people, if you don't think medical is important,
It's the most important.
it is. I've been in some unfortunate situations, but the last unfortunate situation that I was in where I saved a life had nothing to do with a gun. It had everything to do. And the crazy thing was there were a ton of gun guys standing around that froze when the situation happened. I was like having a cigar and drinking coffee 8 yards away from it, and it was like at least a dozen dudes between me and the guy that passed out, right?
And
Knocked
they
his
all
noggin.
froze.
And everybody's like, how mad I was, the fact that I got to put my cigar down. You ever had to put a cigar down mid-smoke and go? But I did it because everybody else is like, now we can, I mean, we're doing double taps. Your Mozambique drill is good. Your Bill drill is solid. But then when somebody cracks their noggin, all of a sudden that's so free. So medical is very important. So Train and Learn is an awesome event. We had guys like Mike out speaking and sharing his expertise, and not only from Walkie Talk America, his knowledge in the gun industry is massive, right? So he's out there sharing a lot of different things. So it's what you need. We have a lot of skill sets, different things that we can offer that we don't know if we don't talk to each other. Like, oh, you shoot guns, yeah, but I also have a master's in procurement, acquisition, and contract management.
Sounds
I'm also
like a
a
good
logistics
weekend,
expert.
man.
You know,
Yeah.
So you come in, you get a lot of information in gaming.
Do I get CE credits?
You don't get CE. I don't know. Want to do that?
Not yet.
I don't know. We
Not
can put up a
yet.
live
Yeah.
CE class.
You know what? One thing I want to say about this, it doesn't matter what your skill level is, too.
No.
You could literally be a novice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, and get out there. So, and they make you feel comfortable about it, which I think is the most important thing.
Is this like you got to register for this, get tickets?
Yeah, you go to nootherchoice.com, which is the website. The event's called Train and Learn. So nootherchoice.com/train and learn. You get the event, you get 3 meals, you get a cigar and bourbon pairing class with a cigar and a pour bourbon, if you indulge. You get a night vision experience. It's not training, but a lot of people have never shot night vision, so we just have that experience for them.
That's fun.
Last year we had a private fireworks show. You get all that and a third day of entire content collaboration for $350.
And that's in Georgia.
No, that's in Missouri. So
That's in Missouri,
Yeah,
okay.
90 miles south of St. Louis.
Okay.
And then, so nootherchoice.com/train and learn. The only people this is not for is if you are, and I love you to death, if you're somebody that goes out to the range and you shoot every weekend and you take training classes, that's awesome. Keep doing that. Matter of fact, jump your butt in a training class at nootherchoice.com. I'd love to have you out.
There you go.
But it is not for that individual. It's for somebody that operates a business of some ilk. Right? Whether you work for a manufacturer, you work at a gun store, you run a social media page, you're a blogger, YouTuber, podcaster, photographer, it's for those type of people.
So me.
Yeah, you're more than
It's
welcome
for
to
me.
come out. Yeah. That's why I've been staring at you the whole time I've been saying.
He's like,
And then
talking to you.
the other thing that I have going on that I'm very excited about is
I go to Missouri.
in Georgia, not to confuse the two, in Georgia, there's a project I've been working on in my head for about a decade now, but it's finally starting to come to life. It's called the Greenwood Project.
Greenwood.
Yeah, Greenwood. It's I named it after the 1921 Tulsa, Oklahoma riots. The nickname of the community was Greenwood.
Okay.
And if you don't know, long story short, that's where hundreds of black people were slaughtered in 24 hours based off of a lie, where not only did the townspeople turn on them and start murdering them, so did the state police. They assisted in the murder of people, and you can even see old pictures of cargo trucks dragging bodies down the street and dumping them in mass graves. Matter of fact, we're still finding the mass graves now,
Really?
where these people were killed. Yeah,
Wasn't there a documentary on this not too long ago?
yeah, there's been a couple of them.
Like
Yeah,
something recent.
And I want my credit, producers, if you're hearing about it. I've been screaming about this thing for years, and they go do the documentary and don't put me in it. But yeah, it's a very troubling thing. But the beauty that was there is the fact that everything was self-sustaining, right? And the point is, when people showed you that they wouldn't support you, you support your damn self. You make your own schools, your own doctor's offices, your own law firms, right? And they're very self-sufficient. So with Greenwood, what we're doing is a blend. It's like the Second Amendment meets the community. Because as Mike was saying, that this should be normalized anyway. The guns should not be a taboo thing, right?
Yeah.
They're part of everyday society. So what we're doing with the Greenwood Project is, you think about it, is have firearms training, right? Professionals like Chris or myself, if I'm a professional, I don't know what I am day to day. But we get out there, you teach individuals how to operate, run a gun, things of that nature. That's one half of it. The other half of it is building human equity. So that's where we're going to be focused on reading, writing, financial literacy. We're going to be focused on civics classes, resume writing, interview skills, farming, gardening.
Life skills.
Things that
Nice.
help the human being be better, right? So it's not just, oh, you come out, you shoot guns. No, you could come out one weekend and be in a gun class. Your kid might be over there in a gardening class. Or maybe you're going to take the de-escalation course that we're throwing that day. Or maybe you're looking for a new
That's
job.
awesome.
So you're going to be in a job interview.
And this is
still.
in Georgia. You're doing
this is
this one in
45
Georgia.
minutes south of Atlanta. So fortunate enough, and I'm going to always give big honor and respect to two organizations in particular, USCCA and Brownells. Very instrumental in making this happen, but I was able to secure 40 acres of land, right? So I'm all about the subtle blows. 40 acres, damn right. No
iron.
mule, got a lot of ARs though.
No mules.
We'll get the mule here in a second. But and that's not, and I want to be very clear about something else too. This is for, yes, it has a meaning, and yes, I am driven with this mission, but I want to make this very clear. It does not mean because you happen to be a white guy that needs to learn job interview skills, you're not welcome on the land. All right? The name is the name, and the meaning behind it is because of American tragedy. It is there to help all Americans. So it is not about, oh my God, I'm not this, or I'm Asian, so I can't go, or I'm a Latino, so I can't go. No.
Everyone's welcome.
Everyone is welcome at Greenwood.
In honor.
Yeah.
That's a great name.
Because there's no way that we have the success in the world if we stay divided, right? So I can tell you about history and let you know why I'm passionate about it, and let you know damn well we're not repeating it. At the same time saying, yeah, but you weren't there. Neither was I. And me and you, we build a better country going forward, right? While we learn these lessons and use these lessons as building blocks. So I had a couple of people be confused about that, so I want to be very clear about that. Yes, it has its meaning, but at the same time, I don't care where you come from, what you do. Hell, as a matter of fact, if you have a skill set and you're willing to come teach it, let me know.
Very nice.
Right? Because I'm not good at all this stuff. What I was able to do is give a lot of people like gardening.
Yeah.
Hell, I know about a garden. I don't know nothing. I'm gonna learn. And you know what I do know? People that know it. And what I was able to do is work with these nonprofit agencies and say, hey, you don't have a place to go garden, but I have the land. You teach the class. I'll help bring the people. We'll all learn together. This is how you build a community back, right?
Have you had any blowback with being firearms related? You know, like.
Well, fortunately, not yet. Now, it's.
You're teaching life skills. I mean, you're teaching people to be self-sufficient, which is the cornerstone of being, a great American, so to speak.
In my
getting
overall,
less reliant on the government.
In my overall push, I'm gonna tell you the people that gave me the biggest pushback. And with the property itself, I haven't. And the beautiful thing is now I can drag people to where I'm at, and I'm not dependent on schools or somebody letting me in their facilities.
Yeah.
But yes, the biggest hurdles I've had to overcome is my community outreach that I've been doing for years has always been from the people that claim that they care about kids and people the most. And so something happens to individuals when you say gun, everything else that you bring to the table, they just shut it off.
It's like go deaf.
Right.
Yeah.
They're just out of the equation. So I've been able to work around in a lot of schools, especially. I just don't talk about it. And I'm not the guy that walks into an elementary school with, gun ARs on my chest and stuff like that. I don't do that. And I the respect is I'm not going to discuss firearms with children unless we're having a hot stove conversation, right? Hey kids, if you see a gun, let the adult know, things of that nature. But yeah, those have been the biggest pushback. What I'm looking for is for the Second Amendment community to get off his ass. All right, because these kind of efforts, Walk the Talk America, right? Greenwood Project, these are the things, right? First, we were talking 15 years ago. It was all about diversity. Okay, diversity of thought, diversity in appearance, diversity of lifestyle. I mean, look at the interview panel, right? So we're getting there, right? We still got strides to go, but we are showing that we're moving in the right direction. But now we got to stop being lazy. And what I mean in lazy is we can't just say, "Oh, cool, Chris is going to do it. He got it." No, you need to help Chris. Mike's got it. No, you need to help Mike. KD's got it. No, you need to help me. So the same way that you want to, you can click on a video and you can say, oh, cool. Hey, man, thanks for showing me this $1,000 widget, which is great. I'm going to go buy it. Yeah, while you're there, make a $20 donation, right? Because we're trying to actually change the landscape of America to protect your rights in ways that have never been done before. Love the people that have been doing it for 40, 50 years to death. They've definitely done good things. The game has changed, son.
That's
and
right.
it needs to be more methodical now.
Landscape has changed.
So get up off your butts, help out with the organizations, and I'm not calling you names, I'm just calling you lazy. But get up off your butt, help with the organizations, help with the people that are making change. And I'm telling you right now, it is not as easy as it may appear to be showing up to places, talking, getting defeated, and then looking at the pool of people that should believe in you and they're not there either.
Right.
Or they're challenging you. They're saying, well, this is stupid. So the opposition of freedom is beating you up while you're trying to educate them. The people that should believe in freedom are beating you up because you're trying to bring it in a unique manner. And you look, and next thing you know, all you got is your few friends to be like, dude, will you please say some nice words to me? I'm having a really bad day, right? So we need more people to get up off their asses and help us out across the board.
I like that. So the Greenwood, where do people go to sign up for the Greenwood
So
Project?
if you want to donate to the Greenwood Project, I would really appreciate that. And I think we're going to be giving out people, we found a lot of courts on the land. Like, I mean, we pulled out one that's like 2 basketballs. So I think what we're going to be doing is like chopping blocks of courts and actually sending it off to people that make a donation, right? And a little
That's
type
cool.
of thing. But it's GoFundMe.com. The organ is the Aiming for the Truth is the name of the org. So it's GoFundMe.com/aiming for the truth. That is the name of the nonprofit organization. You donate to that, it goes to funnel this project called Greenwood, but it's aiming for the truth. It's under that umbrella, and that's how you help. And
how many years have you had this going now?
Oh,
Greenwood?
I've had the idea for 10 years. I just got the property last year.
So this will be the first.
Yeah, we're hosting our first event.
The
June
inaugural
10th.
event.
June 10th is
June
our
10th.
first event, and that event was that's going to be the first official event on the land. Is and what it's for? These are women that are mainly, I'm not going to call them anti-gun, just don't know, right?
Yeah, uneducated.
But they're great. They're big into cigars, right? And they're like, I'm sitting there and I'm talking to one of them. And she's like, I got this great idea, and she's a cigar ambassador. She travels the country and talks about this, right? The point of this is different communities of people, right? So she's got all these ladies, they love cigars, and they're like, well, man, she's like, I want to do something different, because everybody does this, and that. And I'm sitting there with her, and she's like, I want it to be in Atlanta, and I want to have about, 60, 70 women out there, and I'm trying to find something unique to do. And I was like, have them shoot guns. She's
There
like,
you go.
well, where do we do that? I said, you do it at my property. So already
Greenwood,
we got
baby.
70 women that don't know. They're going to come out, get introduced to firearms. While they enjoy what they normally do, they're going to be able to smoke
a
cigars,
cigar.
learn. We're going to teach them. They get to shoot guns. So look,
Smoke
now we're gonna,
cigars and skin a smoke wagon.
That's right. Welcome to it. So, and then we want more there. We want more there.
You like that, didn't you, Chris?
That was a good one. Oh my gosh.
But that's key, and that goes to what we teach and preach here on the podcast. Is this is the most diverse and welcoming community that exists. No one is more welcoming. There's no other group that's more diverse than the firearms community. Like you said, just look at this table right here, and it's about educating people and bringing those other likes, values, industries together, and saying, look, we're all one big family, and we all enjoy the same things. It's just, they seem to be divided. The liberal media obviously makes us out to be, the good old boy Bubba redneck, industry.
In fairness, I really like hanging out with rednecks, so I'm just going to be honest.
And
That's
I'm a
some of the funniest
redneck.
pieces. Hilarious.
Some of the funniest people you ever meet in your life. But some of the, the most, staunchest friendships that you can have, you're never going to get a more somebody that's got your back more than a redneck. So I got your back, buddy.
All right.
I got your back. But that's great. What you're doing is you're actually bringing them together. You're not really forcing them together, but you're like, hey, you like cigars? You like whiskey? You like making homesteads? You like doing your own garden? Bring it in here, and you're, like you said, if you've got a skill, doesn't matter what it is, it could be anything. Maybe it's building a house,
Whatever your skill is, bring it.
Whatever your skill, bring it.
Especially if you're willing to teach people, because that's the other one thing that I didn't think about originally, but I understood was a positive consequence, was the fact that, you know what, if you are bringing people that experience life different, right? And maybe they've been taught to dislike each other for whatever reason, right? Like you like green and I like yellow, whatever the reason is. They've been taught to mistrust and dislike each other. Well, you know how calming that is when that person you've been told to distrust is teaching you something, and they get nothing from it.
Yeah.
Because it's all non-profit. It's all free. You got to do it free, right? So I'm literally giving you something. I'm giving you something to make your life better. How bad can I really hate you?
Right.
If I'm willing to just say, you know what? You want some investment knowledge? Here's all the information. and you go out and you build success off of that, how I can't hate you, because why would I do that?
Yeah.
Right. So we start kind of breaking those falsehoods down at the same time too. Right. And
I love it.
maybe you have tough conversation in the midst of it. I'm all about the tough conversations. Right. But you can still come out on the other end with a friend and an ally. Right. And then when you go out and you leave, you look at the rest of the world like, and what the hell else have I been getting lied to about?
But you can at least, even if you don't agree with them, you can at least see their side of it.
Absolutely.
Is where they're coming from, and vice versa.
Absolutely.
I get it. I understand, your point of view.
Yep.
So this is great. So the Greenwood Project, GoFundMe.
GoFundMe.com/aiming for the truth.
Aiming for the truth. And that's where they can donate.
Yeah.
And if they want to sign up for it.
If you want to sign up for it, just go ahead and shoot us an email. Email me at info@nootherchoice.com on our business website, because the Greenwood website is still getting built. Nonprofit work is it's a grind, baby.
Yes, sir.
So we're trying to get the funding.
Again, sharing knowledge.
Right.
Sharing
Trust
knowledge.
me, and I'm going to gain a lot of knowledge from them. It's all up your network. It's your net worth. Is that what they say? Yeah. So I'm definitely going to be pinging Mike's head about this. But right now, just email me at info@nootherchoice.com and just say, hey, man, I want to help. Like literally title the email, want to help, and tell me what your skill is, right? And if we can, all we have now, we got a bunch of land. So I know one thing that we're going to have immediately is the farm and the garden and the range. But hey, if you're like, I can teach survival skills, like whatever you want to do. And I'm not anti you marketing a business either. So if you're like, hey, I'll come out and do a 4-hour thing, just as a give back, but do you mind if I promote my,
Sure.
Absolutely. I want you to do that. We still have to grow business. So
Yeah.
just reach out. And then if you're on the social medias of the world, The Real NOC for No Other Choice on all the social medias, reach out and talk to me. And if you see me and I have RBF, I promise you, I am a nice person. Just talk to me and tell me what you want to do, and we'll make it happen.
You might need to spell out what RBF stands for to the listeners.
RBF is resting bitch face. Okay, so I always look like I got an attitude, and you got to forgive me too, man. Look, I'm from a space.
Yeah.
I'm from an area, right? And then I grew up where I grew up at. That's a crack 90s, and then I jumped from that right into law enforcement. And I'm stuck. My job was to be stuck with a bunch of prisoners all day. So I have a tendency.
You got the RB.
Yeah,
what is
just
it?
like
RBF.
resting bitch face, man. I'm like, I don't know where the next problem is coming from. So I'm trying to fix it. They say the cure for this disease is cigars and bourbon, and a wife. I was going to say women, but I want to keep a wife.
Cigars, bourbon, and guns.
Yeah. And guns help too. Guns actually calm me down. Another thing,
they do me too.
I tell people all the time, I was way more violent. And I don't say I was violent because I'm some macho dude. No, seriously, I had a problem with violence. But I wasn't mentally well. Violence was my get out, right?
Yeah.
So I was violent. I liked pain. I liked putting pain on people. The world to me was just a horrible place, and pain is what we live through, right? So I like that. Now, in my older age, I wrestled my 16-year-old the other day. It's different. But guns actually, in my opinion, calm me down because I'm very aware of the consequences if I do the wrong thing. Very aware of them. So I'm like, I don't want any problems with anybody, man. No. So guns actually do calm me down. Here's a tip for you. Next time you go to the range, get you some Walkers. Can I give them a discount code?
Yeah,
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Go to
I'm all about promoting your stuff too. Yeah, go ahead.
WalkersGameEar.com, and I don't even get a financial kickback. This is just from the GSM family to you guys. WalkersGameEar.com. Use the code KD30 for Kevin Dixie 30. Get 30% off anything from them that you want. 30% off all the electronic Ear Pro, anything you want over there, and it's not limited. Put as much in your cart as you want.
Does that work as a show here? Or they got a booth set up? I'm going to go over there right now.
The problem is I was supposed to be at the booth. I got to find it still. But go to Walker's Game Ear, get you whatever you want off the website. KD30, that's on me to your family,
30%
to the lead heads.
Nice.
30% off anything you want. My pleasure. But here's a tip for you guys while you're at the range. If you like music. If you like podcasts or books or anything like that, whatever you like listening to, something that's helped me over the years. You're out there, maybe it's not like a bunch of you're by yourself, right? Maybe you got a responsible friend with you, and say you're working on this drill, whatever that drill is, or you're working on your reloads or whatever the thing is. Get you some good Walker Ear Pro. Choose the ones that are Bluetooth, and stream music to your Ear Pro.
There you go.
And I'm telling you, it will change your life.
When I'm cleaning my firearms, that's when I like to pop those in and listen to the podcast or the music or whatever.
Tune out.
Yeah. But I've got a pair of those that you can do that with. the Bluetooth ones. Yeah,
They are awesome.
they're awesome.
Are they
I love
Walker?
them. Sure. For
That's
this
right.
purpose,
Yeah.
for this purpose, they are.
Indeed, they are.
They might as well be because it wasn't a sponsored one. So, so you got to follow this, Chris.
Yeah, well, like KD and like Mike, I'm also engaging in community building, and so the backdrop here is, violence, racist violence against Asian Americans has increased dramatically, throughout the pandemic, and the number of Asian Americans who are seeking to learn how to shoot, learn how to buy their first gun, it's the amount of activity and chatter around that is unprecedented. I've been in the industry for 10 years, 11 years now. And the unfortunate violence that Asian Americans are experiencing here in our country, and these are in cities that you would think are quote unquote safe.
Yeah.
San Francisco, LA, New York, Seattle. We're seeing some of these cities have the highest attack rates, and these are they're racially driven. And so in response to that, a few years ago, I founded an organization called the Asian Pacific American Gun Owners Association. Another acronym soup, APAGOA. So APAGOA, our goal is to be an information resource for Asian Americans who are asking themselves all those typical first-time shooter, gun owner questions. And what's interesting is, I don't live my life seeking out information based on people's race. If I need to learn something, I will just go find people who know the information, and I'm very colorblind in that manner. But, being a co-founder of APAGOA has made me realize that, if we want to educate and if we want to build community, we have to often meet people where they are. Right? And so
to go to them.
Yeah, and so it doesn't matter if I don't seek out information based on people's race, but there are lots of people that do. Right? And so me realizing that and me having meet those people where they are, I want to make sure that they hear the message that the Second Amendment is for everybody, that the gun community, gun ownership is for everybody, irrespective of your race, religion, sexual orientation, etc. And so, it's been a very scary time for Asian Americans. During the pandemic, we saw a 43% year-over-year increase in first-time Asian American gun ownership.
Why do you think that is?
If you combine a lot of the inflammatory racist language that we see from a lot of politicians at the start of COVID, in the middle of COVID, and obviously we're still on the tail end, thankfully, the very, very tail end of COVID here. But, that creates an atmosphere where you have certain individuals who think that gives them permission to attack Asian Americans. And so if you take what's happening in our country, you take the civil unrest, if you hear all of the defund the police conversations, if you hear about all of the talk about, basically removing, dismantling the criminal justice system, right? You have district attorneys who aren't prosecuting people, right? And you have Asian Americans who are watching vicious, violent attacks happen to us. The police either they don't have the power to do anything, or if they do arrest somebody, then you have a district attorney who's not pressing charges, or they're not leveraging the full force of the law, right, to prosecute these criminals to the fullest extent. So then this comes back to the Asian American community, where we say, well, if the cops can't protect us, and if the criminal justice system isn't going to help keep these criminals off the street, how do I protect myself and the ones that I love? And so for the first time in maybe ever in our country's history, there are large numbers of Asian Americans who are asking themselves the question, is gun ownership right for me? And we all know, that is a big question, right? Asian Americans have probably the lowest rate of gun ownership, right, in our country. And so, I'm a second generation gun owner, right? My father, right, owns firearms. So, for me, I grew up shooting, not a ton, but the concept and notion of owning a gun was normalized for me at a very young age. But clearly, right, if you're Asian American or really anybody and you don't have that family heritage or the traditions of going hunting or target shooting or learning about home defense and right and concealed carry, it's hard to have that tradition start right in your family unit or your friend circle. So APAGOA, we are right providing that information right to Asian Americans around right all the bread and butter questions like, should I buy a pistol, a rifle, a shotgun? And then, every state, right, has a different process.
Right.
CCW or, constitutional carry, that's all different depending on the state that you live in. And what's most important to me is I want people to have good, accurate information, right? So APAGOA, we are a trusted resource hub, right, of industry professionals, right, gun owners who are able to speak authoritatively, right, on safe handling, safe storage skills, and bring people together. I mean, that's.
Now, are you
really
going and traveling and putting on seminars? Is this online? Is there a online video that people can go and watch? Phone number?
Yeah, so part of what APAGOA is doing is right bringing in existing content right from Asian American content creators like me, like JJ Rakaza, and a whole bunch of other prominent Asian American gun owners, in the community. But we're also holding events nationwide. Mm-hmm. And so there's one coming up in August with JJ. JJ Rakaza is one of the most just awesome dude.
Yeah.
He's a phenomenal human being. One of the world's best shooters. I mean, the guy's got
by the way, he happens to be a world champion shooter too.
Yeah, exactly. And so there's going to be a workshop,
learn from the best.
Seminar. Yeah, learn from the best.
A winner of Top Shot right here also.
Yeah, I'll be holding
Cheng,
some events in the future as well, and so we're looking to bring people together, right? And this is just your bread and butter grassroots.
Will this be one of your first events that you've had with your organization?
No, so we've had some events in California. We're pretty California heavy, but we are looking right to other states. And I mean the long view of APAGOA is to be a nationwide organization. But like anything, right, we got to start small. And like Katie was mentioning, starting a nonprofit organization is hard. It is really hard, right? It's like everybody's a volunteer, everybody's got their day jobs. You're trying to scrape together funding. You're talking to as many people as you can, and to join the cause. And but it's very satisfying work, right? There's obviously all this behind the scenes, organizing and advocating that has to happen. But when you get people together and you see the results, the fruits of your labor. That's where I think for all of us, right? That's why
absolutely.
We're doing this, because
success is always a drug. It's a drug, and you want to continue that success.
Exactly.
I asked Kevin this too. What's one of the biggest, blowbacks that you've received in your community?
I'm thankfully I can say that I haven't gotten any significant blowback within the community. It's been more actually the gun control community that's been mostly coming specifically at me and
being
the
in
gun
California.
industry. Yeah, and the attack line is that it's the accusation is it's despicable that the gun industry is trying to take advantage of the violence against Asian Americans all to sell more guns. And it's like, this is not about money. This is not about money. This is about...
It's not sales, it's about education.
Yeah, this is about educating people around firearms ownership. And look, I am not in the camp. I don't think guns are for everybody, right? There are
They're absolutely not.
Yeah, right. The guns are not for everybody. It is an individual choice that I want everybody to think about it. I think everybody.
But how are
should
you going to
consider
know
it.
that they're not for you unless you go
down
and you take that first step?
Exactly.
I don't know that this pair of shoes is for me until I try it on.
Exactly.
I don't know this jacket's going to fit until I try it on.
Yeah, and so
I don't know if I'm going to like that mule deer soup until I try it.
It was delicious stew. That was a bonding moment for us 10 years ago.
It was. It was.
So
We bonded heavily over mule deer.
mule deer stew.
Yeah.
Never had it before then, and have not had it since. But
I
it's
have.
delicious.
I have.
Very
I've had
good.
it since then.
Hey,
It's
but
good stuff.
right. So, for me, I'm a diversity and inclusion advocate, no matter where I am. My career started in Silicon Valley, right? So in Silicon Valley, I'm always like, right, pro diversity, pro inclusion. Right? When we say diversity and inclusion, or when I say it, like, I don't just mean like the superficial, like, race and ethnicity, and this is also about life experiences, right? Political perspective, life perspectives. Like, I think what makes our country so great is we are so diverse in all of these different ways. And what is so frustrating for me to see in our country these days is the tribalism, right? That is just continually encouraged and rewarded, right? We just find just the quote like-minded people, right, who think like us, but then we don't listen, or we're not like talking to people who disagree with us. We are just seemingly continuing to insult them, to degrade them, to make them all sound,
But
less
it's just
than
like
us.
just like Kevin said, and just like you're saying right now, is we are all of like-mindedness. There's something we all have in common somewhere down the line. And nobody's ever going to have 100% on everything. It's just not going to happen, And for us to nitpick and find some little flaw just to keep someone out of our so-called group or our industry is preposterous, and that's not what this industry is about as a whole, because we are welcoming, we are, say, diverse, and it's about education. It's not about the sales.
Yeah,
it's about educating individuals on gun ownership, safe, responsible, proper way, fun ways to do it.
And for the Asian American community, right, this is one of many vehicles, right, in the gun community that is speaking to the Asian American community to say, hey, like, come join us, right? Come join us. Like, this is a really not just fun activity. It's a great group of people. Obviously, it taps into a core human need, which is all about safety and security, and
respect.
And respect and personal responsibility and individual ownership over taking personal responsibility.
Which is what we need to be promoting, in the mass shootings that happen. It's the gun, it's the mental health, it's the lack of education is the main, I think.
There's that and lack of community, right?
It's the main thing that people are overlooking is it's the education, and the gun grabbers don't want people to be educated about guns. Anything to do to learn about it, they're against it. Just like you're saying, the opposition that you're meeting there in California, some of the people in your community. It's you're trying to educate people about this is a life decision, and it could be the difference between life and death, one way or the other, depending on how you use it. But if you don't respect yourself, you don't respect other people, then that's where it gets out of hand, and we get into these mass shootings, and is the repercussions they don't understand. So I think education, what you're saying, what you're doing is education. What you're doing, Mike, is education. What you're doing is education. Is educating people about what a firearm is, how to use it, when to use it, and ways to use it. So we're all on the same page here.
Indeed.
It's just we got to get this stigma of not letting us educate our younger generations about firearms. Keeping it out of schools. What good's that do? Sex education. They try to keep that, out of schools. And what's that do? It just makes people want to learn more about it on their own in an unsafe way.
Mm-hmm. Scared the hell out of me. They showed me pictures of STDs.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's all it does. And that's what they set it up in school. When I was in school, I'm 52. It was a way to scare you into not wanting to have sex.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
I would also push this challenge to gun owners. If we're going to roll with education being the biggest missing component, you need to be better teachers.
Absolutely.
You need to be more approachable teachers. That yelling at people because they disagree with you, you're already a mean-spirited, nasty individual because you got a gun anyway, right? So if we're going to educate Americans, you have to be more approachable. You have to be somebody that can keep the cool head in a room full of idiots.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just part of the responsibility.
And I know we gotta take care of our own backyard, but it's not just Americans that we gotta educate. We gotta educate the world, because look at all these countries that have done away with their Second Amendment rights, and look, the situation that they're in their countries.
You're right. We should. I won't, because I don't know if he wants me to say it out loud, so I won't say who it was. But I was just at another gentleman's class, and at the class there was a guy who came from another country to America to take a class because their country has now pretty much erased competitive shooting.
Yeah.
Doesn't exist. They took it away.
Canada?
That's the country, yes.
Yeah,
I just
Canada.
don't want to say the
Yeah. You can say the country.
No, he said he came down here, and we're sitting at dinner after the class, right? And we're sitting there, and we're talking about something. I don't know. I think I was trying to steal somebody's food and distract them. I don't know what was going on. And I'm talking, and then all of a sudden I hear him say something like, yeah, you guys, as in Americans,
right?
Yeah, you guys absolutely need to do something about your gun laws. And I didn't know if he was like going pro gun. I had no idea, and I'm still just moving about me. He's like, yeah, because this is ridiculous, the amount of guns you have. Don't get me excited.
And I'm sure the room went just quiet, just like that.
And I just like beelined in on this guy, right? But I even had to take my own advice in that moment, like,
don't yell.
You have to, you have to educate. So, yeah. And I yell automatically anyway, just because I'm loud. So I really have to be careful, right? Resting bitch face, loud voice. Like I gotta, bring it all the way down. And as I'm talking to this guy, the light bulb started clicking off. But I realized in that moment, the best thing to say to him was this: when we talk about and I'm not saying that everybody thinks America is the best country on earth. It's just not the case. Not everybody believes that, right? We're supposed to believe that, and not everybody else is supposed to believe that. All right, but for the people that do view it that way, that are, non-Americans that do view it that way, I had to explain to him, you do realize you are critiquing the same country you just ran to learn how to be free.
Drop the mic. Boom.
And that's exactly what happened. And he sat back in his chair like, oh. And that was the best education I could give anybody. Yeah. You ran here.
And just like your experience, I've taken several training courses where there are people from other countries, Canada, being the main one. And, that's the thing that a lot of them, say, except the opposite. They're like, you guys, you need to change your laws because you're losing them like we did. It's look what happened to our country. You guys need to fight harder, need to get more involved. And, they came down here to do the training, shoot the guns they couldn't shoot, and then they're going back to their country where they can't use any of that because the rights have been taken away. So it's good to get the perspective from people from other countries because it's kind of like a, what do you call it? They're warning you of what's coming.
Yeah.
Kind of deal. It's got a word, I can't think of it right now.
A harbinger of things to come.
That's one. That's one.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah, definitely. Foreshadowing.
That's a good word.
Yeah. But cautionary tale. There it is.
Cautionary tale.
Cautionary tale. I know it's come to me in a minute. But yeah, we can look at all these other countries, but until you get somebody from that country who's actually there and experiencing it, and they tell you firsthand, you don't really appreciate what we've got here. And giving away our rights to a bump stock doesn't seem like much to some people, but that's that one step closer to them taking the next step and the next step and the next step.
Yeah. For everybody that thought the bump stock wasn't a big deal, tell me how it's working out for braces right now.
Exactly, and that's exactly why they're on the braces right now and who took the bump? It was Trump.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was Trump. It wasn't a Democrat. Wasn't a liberal. It was your guy, your favorite president of all time. Donald Trump.
That's what happens when you leave your freedom to tribalism. That's what happens when you are more inspired by a political party than you are about your passion of being an American. That's what happens when you turn your values and freedom over to somebody just because they say they're your friend. I don't care if you vote left, right, up, down, middle, sideways. I don't care because it's your freedom to do so. What I will say is that I'm never going to speak in totality on people, but a concerning amount of individuals, many of them in this building right now, are going to be praising and singing Trump's glory when he speaks here tomorrow.
Is it tomorrow? I thought
think
he
it's
was here today.
Is it today?
I think it's here today.
Is
That's
it
live
today?
when we walked in.
Okay, so they were praising
Right
it.
now.
Oh yeah, because
Right
the
now.
line was super duper long. That's what that long line was.
Yeah.
All
So
security.
you're going to be praising someone who gave you more gun control than the guy that had it the 8 years previous. I think the worst thing Obama did was shut down our last lead smeltering plant, which sucked.
Yeah.
It was in Herculaneum, Missouri.
The worst thing he did was propel the firearms industry. So
Way through the roof, right?
through-
President Obama's the best salesperson
Yeah,
yeah.
for the gun industry. It was
was.
I
incredible. to
swear
watch.
that he has stock in these gun companies. I swear he did.
Yeah, that's what happened. So we'll see if America will actually get to being about American values when it comes down to really fighting for our gun rights in that way. Because I see it all the time too. No different than people that tend to be or say they're anti-gun. Most of the time, it's because someone they look up to says that. Right. And then what? And last thing about Trump, I want everybody to know, Piers Morgan is known to be very anti-gun, right? He's known to be a douche, but he's also known to be very anti-gun.
Douche. That's good
But
word.
Trump sat down with Piers Morgan and told Piers Morgan when there was an unfortunate shooting in Virginia Beach where a guy used a silencer. And so Piers Morgan kind of brought that up.
Yeah.
And Trump told him, remember this HPA we were supposed to get, this Hearing Protection Act that was going to happen, and Trump told
That just
him,
died
yeah,
on
you
the
see,
vine.
Trump said to Pierce, you see what I did with bump stocks, right? And Pierce was like, yeah, and I don't think you get enough credit for that. He's like, yeah, I did that. We did that. And I don't like these silencing things either. So we're looking at those now.
Yeah.
And I played a video for everybody. And they're like, well, it's 48,000 D chest. I'm like, what? So you love a man more than you do your freedom. Thanks a lot. Tune in the next show.
Right.
Like, it's crazy.
Point made. Yeah. Turn on you in a heartbeat. So guys,
I'm voting for
this
Chris.
is great conversation. We've been doing this over an hour now. This is awesome.
And we're still friends.
And
Pretty
we're still
amazing.
friends.
Pretty amazing.
We still got common goals. One more time, give where everybody can get in touch with you and what you got coming up that they can take part in. Mike.
WTTA.org at Walk the Talk US on social media. And I just need your support. I'm going to go do my thing. I do it full time now,
There you go.
It's good.
Oh, if you want to help out with the Greenwood Project, please consider that. We need help also. But I will even say, if you have any concerns or any investment in mental illness, if you only have $20, help Mike first, then come see me later. Because that mental illness is a big deal, man. But GoFundMe.com/aiming for the truth to help out with the Greenwood Project. If you're looking for firearms training, even some firearm accessories, you like gun reviews and all that good old stuff, NoOtherChoice.com is our website. So head over there, check out our schedule, check out what we got going on. I mean, we're teaching all over the country. We'll even be in Palmer, Alaska in August.
What?
Yeah,
Nice.
Palmer, Alaska. So
Is this your first time to go to Alaska?
yeah, man.
That's going to be cool.
Yeah, so I booked
Bet
that
you're looking
flight.
forward to that, right?
Yeah, 8 hours.
That's
But
not
now
too bad. They got
my
movies now.
To my crew in Alaska, though, I will. That's what I tell people. Just side note, real quick, man. That's what I tell people.
Yeah.
I look, man. People can say what they want. I like me some. I don't know if you can call dudes from Alaska rednecks. I don't know North necks. I don't know what they are.
don't know.
But what I do
Alaska.
know is when they book me for the class, I get an email from one of the guys, and he's like, "Yeah, man, when you come up, I got a 2022 Tundra for you to drive. So don't rent a car. We're gonna grab you from the airport. We got." Be friends with people. And stop believing what the media tells you, because there are some awesome human beings in this world.
Alaskans are chap necks, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. Go to NoOtherChoice.com. Sign up for any training. If you want to keep up with me on social medias, it's The Real NOC for on all platforms. I am most active on Instagram and now putting a little bit of stock on the YouTube. And come over, be ready to have intelligent, adult conversation if you engage with me on social media or face the consequences.
I hear Twitter's a better place to be.
No, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it personally.
I'm not either, so
what a
I'm not buying
cesspool.
into it.
Oh boy! Well, for
Chris.
my stuff, APAGOA.org, the Asian Pacific American Gun Owners Association, requires probably 2 breaths to say that every time. So APAGOA.org, and then for my personal stuff, TopShotChris.com and at TopShotChris. on
When's
social
Colby
media.
going to have you on that new show he's got, the Ultimate Marksman?
I did get an invite.
Did
I
you
did
really?
get an invite
Oh,
for it,
snap.
but the timing didn't work out. And yeah, I'm excited to see how. I hope the show's successful.
So Evan was on it. Evan was a contestant on it.
Very cool.
What was the show that you were on?
My camera guy.
My
Top
show?
Shot.
Or the other show?
No,
in
you
addition
were
to
on Top Shot, and then you were on.
Yeah, so I was on another show on TBS called The Go Big Show.
Go
and
Big Show.
with Snoop Dogg.
No.
That was one of the, I never thought that.
Snoopers. You met the Snoopers?
Yeah, I'm on a first name basis with Snoop. It's like wild.
What's his first name?
I forget what his
Calvin.
Calvin.
Calvin? Okay.
Yeah.
He's
But,
like,
right?
I don't know.
I don't know. I was calling Snoop.
It's all
Yeah,
Snoop.
it's Snoop.
I would never call him Calvin. I would
Yeah,
call him
right.
Snoop.
Yeah. So, but yeah, like life is fun and interesting like that, and I'm sure I'll be on some other show in the future.
Some other
but,
stuff coming up.
But it's good to see more, gun-friendly TV programming, right? I mean, that's
I was so stoked to see that show come back. It's like great.
It-
that's like a first step. Maybe we get the 3-gun, stuff back on TV.
Yeah, it cannot be under or overstated the positive impact that gun-friendly TV programming has. In the gun community, we obviously have a lot of our gun influencer, YouTuber friends, and that's great. Like we need more of that. It is also, I would say, right, impactful in a different way when a major TV network, right, or cable channel has some kind of gun-friendly programming, whether it's a competition show, etc. So, anywho, we will see. Hopefully, that we'll get more gun-friendly programming.
Absolutely.
Can I
I'm
say
for it.
One last thing.
Yeah,
Just
absolutely.
About Chris. I just want to say this to you, man. I think you are probably one of the most solid, best representatives of what a gun owner is in this country.
Oh, well, thank
Period.
you.
Flat out. Chris, you are absolutely a top-notch dude, man.
I appreciate
No
that.
problem.
Well, I think you are as well, and I think you are too, Mike. So
Mike's laughing.
he's like,
Mike's like,
You see, I intentionally did not look over toward Mike.
Right.
I don't even know why you're lying to him.
Mike's like, am I getting
I mean,
punked
you gotta
right now?
look at the longevity this guy's had in the
Oh,
firearms
man.
industry.
Yeah. How long has it
You're
been?
third generation.
Yeah, third generation.
Third
Third
firearms
generation
industry.
firearms.
I got into the industry right after college. So I was 21. Then I left for a few years, and I came back. And I am like, we talk about like different people learning about the firearms and shit. I wasn't a gun guy. Like I had no exposure to guns coming into working in the industry.
Have they seen your modeling pictures? Your Calvin Klein modeling pictures?
My business card. Remember the business card I had with the fly ass outfit?
Can I say the PG?
Yeah.
The Playgirl?
Playgirl. Yeah.
He was in Playgirl.
Cat's out of the bag.
I look like I ate the guy who was in Playgirl. You know the funny story about so at SHOT Show years ago, we used to throw a party every year. And we had just an Eagle party, And so one year, I'm walking up the escalator with my wife. We show up. I'm looking at everybody wearing this white T-shirt. So I'm like, what the hell is that? Adam Renola from Century went and got the cover of Playgirl and had like 200 shirts printed up. And I was like, all right, he got me. This is good. But the funny part is, at one point in the night, this waitress goes, who's the guy on the shirt? And I go, that's me. And she goes, that's you? I was like, damn, I fell off.
When you got married, that's what happened.
Yeah, so that was a little piece of history.
I like that. I haven't heard that story yet.
Yeah,
That's
that's
a good one.
funny.
So Adam and I are in a wedding together next week. We're both groomsmen.
For Andrew, right?
Yeah, for Drew. Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta bust his balls. I could be like,
You
hey,
need to.
sorry I'm not coming. Oh, that's right, I wasn't
I was
invited.
invited.
I wasn't
Thanks,
invited.
Drew. Morgan's here, by the way.
Is she?
Yeah.
Yeah, Andrew's here too, right?
No.
Oh, no?
No.
Just Morgan? Okay.
He's doing Wednesday.
I'll catch up with her.
All right, guys. More coming from the 2023 NRA here in Indy from the lead quarters at Kel-Tec.
Introducing our new belly band holster. Whether you're hitting the gym or running a quick errand, our belly band is one of the most comfortable and safest ways to carry your firearm. The center section allows you to carry most common pistols. Left or right-handed, this has you covered. A hard laminate trigger shield protects the firearm's trigger from unwanted intrusion, giving you ease of mind while carrying every day. 2 elastic sleeves give you the flexibility to carry other everyday items, such as spare mags, flashlight, knife, or pepper spray. 2 zippered pockets run on both sides, offering the option to carry smaller items such as money, cards, or keys. Flush fit on your lower back or waist, easily keeping your setup discreet no matter how you choose to carry. Utilizing 3D spacer mesh, these channels allow for exceptional and efficient airflow, giving you maximum comfort and keeping you cool. Carry whenever you want, how you want, with our new belly band holster. Available now.
Go to missionfirsttactical.com. Use the code LEADHEAD for an exclusive listener-only 20% discount.